Hey, what's going on, everyone? Dominic, the Primetime Treasure Hunter here. In this video, I'm going to go over different ways that you could try and find the actual sold price for an item that's sold on eBay when the best offer option was enabled and used. Now, this is often a frustrating situation that resellers encounter because you just think to yourself, right, with all of the things that eBay could do with technology, how is it that they cannot show us the actual sold price for an item that's sold on their platform, right? So, there's got to be some other reason why they do not fix this, because a lot of people have complained about this for years. Now, what I heard as an explanation as to why this happens is that eBay actually uses that original asking price for earnings estimate numbers. And if they're using that as the number as opposed to the actual sale price, then that first number is actually going to be higher. So if that's the real reason, and I don't have this verified from anyone at eBay, it's just something that I heard, but it would make sense as to why this doesn't change. And if that's the reason, I wouldn't expect it to change anytime soon. So as a result, we have to continue to try to do all of these annoying workarounds. And as you will see, some of them work, some of them don't. Some of them are inconsistent and changing over time. So I'm going to go over the different methods, though, including one that does not actually involve you needing to leave the actual item page. Most of the methods involve leaving the page and going to another source. Now, the reason that I'm doing this video is that in the prior video, and by the way, thank you to so many people who watched that video about the guy freaking out at me at the flea market. I had like 8,000 views in about a day. I really appreciate all the support, everyone. But I had mentioned in that video that there was a Planet of the Apes coloring book that I was trying to check comps on, and that there was information that came from the search that showed that it had sold for something less than $18. I didn't actually know the sale price at the time. I'll explain why in a moment. But a best offer was accepted, so all it showed me was the $18 with the slash mark through it. So some people had commented on that video and prior videos where I have mentioned this, that, hey, there's a way to find out what the actual sold price was. It's actually pretty easy. And my response to that is always, I know, but, and then I get into this explanation. So let me share my screen with you, and I'm going to actually bring up the item I talked about. And as you can see here, it says, Planet of the Apes coloring book. This is a bigger version of it right here, but it shows the $18 with the strike through. So if you're totally brand new to this, when you're checking comps by going to the advanced tab on the top right of eBay's page and then sorting it by completed and sold, if a best offer was accepted, it will show you the original price with the slash through. But it's not going to tell you what it actually sold for. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to go and you're going to need to grab the item number, which is located right over here. So you see that there? It's just right there to the center right area. So you just copy it, paste it, and you're going to go to one of these other websites and paste it in a section that's going to try to pull that information out. Now, some people have told me go to Check a Flip. Well, I'm not saying anything bad about Check a Flip. It's a good site, but it's not a good site to check out the actual sold price, because as you can see here, you type the item number in right there, and it's just bringing me the original price of $18, not showing me the actual sold price. So what I have been using is Flipper tools, and I've talked about that on a prior video, and you could bring this stuff up on your phone or on your desktop. Now, the reason I have been using Flipper tools is because I previously had been using Watch Count. And I've talked about that on my channel as well. But Watch Count had shut down for a while. I'll talk about that in a moment. So Flipper tools was working up until recently. I actually was using this at the flea market and was frustrated because it wasn't showing me the actual price. And why is that? Well, look at this update as of 7/29/20. Today's 8/11/20. Look what it says. I put the number in, nothing's coming up. It says, sorry, the service is currently down to abuse. Abuse? What kind of abuse? Here it says it right here. If you're running a bot, please contact us. Otherwise, this service will be permanently shut down, as eBay is now actively blocking due to excessive queries. So people are running bots through here to basically send massive amounts of item numbers through the program, which eventually gets connected to eBay, and eBay could track back the source and realize, hey, this traffic is coming from Flipper Tools. We're just shutting down the connection. That's what happened. It seems like there's one guy who's running this Flipper Tools site, and he's not able to get this, fixed in terms of information that he was able to put together to try to collect it. And so who knows if and when that will ever be fixed. So I'm not using Flipper Tools right now. Now, watchcount.com, it's been well documented that service had been shut down for a while. Basically, eBay did a similar thing in which they closed off the API to WatchCount. And the API is basically a way that developers could get some additional information within eBay to do some experiments with some of the data, and see if they could come up with like some additional useful features and stuff. And one of which is this one here, which is to give you the best offer. Now, it used to be that the best offer price would just show up automatically right here where it says sold for. And as you can see, that is not showing up anymore. It is still in gray. And I think, although people at WatchCount could confirm this, I think that eBay has still shut off that connection over to WatchCount that they were using, because you could see what they did is they added a new link. It says the true price. If you want the true price, click here on eBay. And when you click that, what it brings up is this link. And now it's an eBay link. So eBay can't shut this off. So they're smart. It's a smart workaround. They're pulling this link from eBay, and they're just automatically pasting the item number at the end, which you could see here. Now, this special link is one that goes and pulls out what the actual best offer price is. And as you could see here, the actual sale price was $13. So this is a method that was actually one that was discussed over here on Tan Man Baseball Fans site last year in August 2019, in which people call it the cut and paste method. And so he basically said, here, listen, cut and paste this link, put it up, put the item number at the end, and there you go. You're going to get the actual sold price. Well, here's the problem with that now. This is why these things are just inconsistent, is that used to work at the time, but now it doesn't. That's not Tan Man Baseball Fans' fault. Perhaps eBay saw this and then changed things around and changed the extension name, because you can see here what it used to be called, this extension at the end. It said view item version and item. Well, let's go back and see what the actual extension is now. It's view item and item. So they took out the word version. Now, who knows? Is eBay going to go and change that again? Probably at some point in the future they will, and that extension's not going to work anymore. However, for the time being, keep in mind when this video was made, again, August 11, 2020, I will put that code without the item number in it down below, so you could use that and cut and paste it and just have it available maybe in the notepad section on your phone or somewhere on your phone, so you could easily just take that, paste it into a browser, and then put the item number in after it. That should work for you for the time being. Now, another thing that you could try is Terapeak. Terapeak was a separate site that was purchased from eBay, and as of a few months ago, it is now incorporated within Seller Hub itself. You have to go over to the research tab, and you just type in the item information, and it will bring it up. You can also access it on your phone. You just have to navigate through it on your phone through the research tools. So And not in the app, by the way. You have to go separately, open it up in a separate browser. But anyway, you can see here when you type in the information, it does bring up that it's sold for $13. My experience, though, with this is that the Terapeak information is inconsistent in terms of whether or not it's going to give you that actual price. Because I could tell you that as of the other day, it said $18. And that's one of my frustrations is inconsistency with the data that I'm getting back. Sometimes it will tell me the best offer, the actual price that was that is sold for after a best offer was used, and sometimes it does not. So you may have to, depending on the situation, you may have to pull out different tools here and there to try to get the information that you are looking for. But as you can see, all of these different methods, they all, really involve things that could change and or are inconsistent. Now, next thing I'm going to show you could, technically change as well. But the good thing about this next method is that it actually involves just looking within the eBay page itself. So here we go. We're going back to the original listing. Now, this method was originally, as far as I know, was originally put out on YouTube by Pinching Pesos, by the way, which Craigslist Hunter has done a video about recently. She's going through some medical problems related to COVID, and there's a GoFundMe page set up. So you could go over and check that out and contribute to that if you're interested in. She's been around in the YouTube community for a long time. And I actually had someone on Instagram who's probably watching this who wanted to thank me for things that I've done to help them out, who sent me information about this, which is called the view source method. Now, as many of you know, I have my own separate website, medfriendly.com. It's my medical website, and I also run a blog. And I created that site actually from scratch by using source code, by actually learning the HTML. And if you're not familiar with how websites are created, behind the scenes, there's what's called a source code. And that actually is the technical code that helps to display what you're seeing here. To access that, you want to right click and you want to click View Page Source. And now this is for a desktop. So this will bring up the information. Now it's a little slow to load. And but what you're going to do, you're going to hit Control F when you get here. And you're going to type in what you could see up here, TaxX, TaxEX. So just hit enter. And as you can see, that hidden within all of these words and numbers and letters, it says tax exclusive price, $13. Let me highlight that there. And you can see it's right next to the buy it now price. So buy it now price, $18, tax exclusive price, $13. Now, if eBay's going to change that and play around with it, okay, we could figure that out. And here's how we're going to figure that out down the road. It's going to be somewhere next to whatever the buy it now price is, which probably will still always be called BIN or some version of that. Or just do a search for the 1.8 or the $18, 18.00. That'll be an easier way because there's all the other numbers here. There's probably a 1.8 there somewhere. So do a search for the actual buy it now price, and then you should have the best offer actual sold price listed next to it. So that's the different methods that you could use to find it out. Now you might say to yourself, well, that's great, but what do I do if I'm actually, because that's for desktop, what do I do if I'm actually, sourcing somewhere and I want to look this up and I just have my mobile phone available? Well, you could use that cut and paste method that I talked about earlier. You could try the different sites that I talked about earlier on mobile. There are ways to view page sources on a mobile phone. It's not the easiest thing in the world unless you might want to invest in, there's an app out there that does it. I don't have the app, so I can't personally recommend it to you and tell you to get it, but I have it right here. It's called View Source HTML, and it costs 99 cents and allows you to do it. Again, I make no money off of saying that. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I'm just giving you different options that are out there. It's rated 3.5 stars out of 5. So I don't know. Some people say it crashes, but maybe that was a while ago. I don't know. But main thing, if you want to find out, go into Google, because part of it does depend on the phone that you are using. And, if you have an Android, if you have, an iPhone, and just type in how to check page source on mobile. There's some people have talked about ways to do it with a Chrome browser that you download. I tried it. I couldn't get it to work yet. So some people might want to comment down below in terms of things that have worked for them, checking view source on mobile. But there are some ways out there that are available. That's pretty much it. There is ways to do it if you're using Safari. That's, I guess, the one other thing I would mention. But you have to view it in developer mode. I will put the steps in down below in terms of how to do that. That would be on your desktop. And again, you're going to have to search online for how to do it on mobile. So thanks for the guy who reached out to me. He didn't give me permission to share his name, but he knows who he is for letting me know that. And I want to just also do just a special thanks to two people who have been kind enough to send me some little gifts in the mail here. So yesterday I came home and Sandra Fassler sent me these two cool Doctor Who buttons. So I really appreciate that. As many of you know, Doctor Who is my favorite TV show, particularly the classic series from 1963 to 1989. I like the newer series too, but much more the older series. So those are classic vintage Doctor Who pins. I really appreciate that. And also want to thank my main man, Carl Bach. Carl's awesome. He knows Triclops is one of my favorite characters here. You can see him here on the side. And he sent me the Triclops Funko Pop, and it's a special edition. It's a limited edition here too. So I was just, I couldn't believe it because Triclops, I love him. He was one of my first bad guy Masters of the Universe characters that I had as a kid. I still have him around. I'll never get rid of my Triclops figure, and as well as a bunch of the other Masters of the Universe. I love vintage Masters of the Universe, even modern Masters of the Universe. My favorite cartoon show that I watched as a kid, and it was fun watching it with my kids as they were growing up. So anyway, thank you, Carl. I just wanted to give you a shout out, and also a shout out to Sandra too. So I don't share for people, because people have been asking me, I don't share a contact, like a physical contact source, like publicly. But you know, for people who I know or have been watching the channel for a while, if you contacted me privately on Facebook Messenger or eBay, you could, some people contact me there, but that's not a good place to send contact information. So I do have an email account, primetimetreasure@gmail.com. And you know, if I know you and I'm comfortable, I would, you know, I give you an address where you could send stuff to. I'm not asking people to send me stuff. I'm just saying, because people ask me that quite regularly. So anyway, that's it for today. I hope that you found that this information was helpful. And don't forget, I've got a live show coming on with Comic Tom Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So he's huge in the comic book YouTube reselling community. He's got over 32,000 subscribers, his own store, everything. I mean, this guy knows comic books in and out. He's done a lot of videos with Gem Mint, who I did an interview with earlier this year, and that guy knows stuff like crazy about comics too. So another great guest coming up. And tonight I'll be on with Don, the auction professor, on his channel, and we're going to be talking about listing your items more efficiently and taking advantage of free listings. So that's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. So hope to see you on both of those live shows. With that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day, and I'll see you back at the next one, everyone. Take care.